escape. Back at the dentist's office, Dr. Sherman stuck a net into the tank and captured Nemo. Jump in and swim down, Gil yelled. The rest of the tank gang joined Nemo in the net and forced it away from the dentist. But suddenly, Dr. Sherman scooped Nemo into a plastic bag. Then she set the plastic bag by the tank. "Roll, kid, roll!" the others cried. Nemo swam freshly back and forth, but the dentist spotted the wobbly bag and stuck it in a tray to keep Nemo from falling. Nemo and his friends were worried. Darla would be arriving any minute. Suddenly a bell rang. Darla burst into the room. "Fishy, fishy, fishy!" the dentist's niece cried. Dr. Sherman reached for the bag. Inside, Nemo was floating upside down, playing dead. Everyone in the tank cheered. If the dentist flushed Nemo down the toilet, he did travel through the plumbing to freedom. Their joy instantly turned to horror when Dr. Sherman started walking Nemo over to the trash can instead. Just then, Nigel showed up on the window ledge and flew inside. The dentist dropped Nemo's bag into the sharp dental tool. The bag began to leak. Nemo spotted Darla and playing dead. Marlin peeked out of the Nigel's mouth and saw Nemo floating upside down. He feared the worst. Dr. Sherman pushed Nigel back outside and shut the window. Darla picked up Nemo's bag and shook it. Gil knew he had to do something. The other tonguefish launched Gil out of the aquarium. He had landed right on Darla's forehead. Nemo fell out of the hole in the bag and into a dental mirror on the tray. Gil flipped himself from Darla's forehead into the tray. "Tell your dad I said hi," he said. Then he smashed his tail on the dental mirror, causing Nemo to fly over Darla's head and into the spit sink. Nemo escaped down the drain. Back in the harbor, Nigel dropped Marlin and Dory into the sea. Overcome with sadness, Marlin said goodbye to Dory. She pleaded to stay with him as he had became like family to her, but it was no use. Marlin couldn't stand to be around any reminder of his failure search for his son. He swam off and began his long journey home. Meanwhile, Nemo rode the rapids through the water treatment plant. When he finally poked his head out into daylight, he was greeted by two hungry crabs perched on the pipe. Nemo quickly swam away to avoid their snapping claws. He had just missed his dad passing by. Escaping from the crash, Nemo swam back toward the harbor and went off in search of his father. But instead he found Dory swimming in circles and sobbing. Dory and Nemo introduced themselves to each other, but of course Dory had no memory of Nemo or the search she had been on to find him. Nevertheless, the two swam off together. Luckily, Dory spotted the word Sydney on the water treatment pipe. Suddenly, she remembered everything. She led Nemo back to where she had last seen Marlin. Dory described Nemo's dad and asked the crab if they had seen him. They would talk until she threatened to turn them into seagull food. "All right, I will talk," one of the crabs cried. He went to the fishing grounds. Dory and Nemo were returned with Marlin in the fishing grounds nearby. Before they had a chance to celebrate, an enormous net swept up Dory along with a huge school of groupers. Thinking quickly, Nemo said, "Let's let every fish to swim down." Nemo swam inside the net to help. "Swim down," Marlin cried, and soon all the fish had broken through the net. But where was Nemo? Dory and Marlin found him bent beneath the net. Marlin was relieved with Nemo's eyes fluttering open. "Dad, I'm sorry. I don't hate you," Nemo said. "Thank you, goodness." Marlin cried. "And guess what? I met a sea turtle. They lived to be 150 years old." Weeks later, Marlin and Nemo raced to school. They had some amazing tales to tell, but most of their friends didn't believe them. Then Bruce and the other sharks showed up with Dory. Everyone's mouth hung open as the giant sharks greeted Marlin. Nemo swam onto Mr. Ray's back, and the class started to leave. "Oh, wait, I forgot something," Nemo said. Nemo swam back to his dad and gave him a big hug. "Love ya, Dad," said Nemo. "I love you too, son," said Marlin.